So in March last year I went to Koh Phangan, and while I was there I made a video called 7 beaches in one day, or something along those lines. And since then I've been to Koh Tao and Phuket, and I did a similar video, 5 beaches in one day. So as I was coming out today I thought, you know, it's weird, I've never done that for Koh Samui, and this is where I live. So today we're going to do 5 beaches in one day, the Koh Samui edition. Now, for anyone that's been with me for the past year or so, sort of 400 or 500 people that were with us for the first year, these are all beaches that I have done before, but I've never done them in one quick episode. And also it's going to be handy, even if you did see them episodes, to do a compare and contrast, because obviously how they were last time, it was in the middle of the pandemic, and right now we're kind of getting back to normal, so it'll be a chance for you to see what they were like last year, what they're like this year. Let's have a look. Alright, so this is beach 1, guys, and this is your Silver Beach, Crystal Beach, just outside Lamai. And we've been here before, and we were pretty much the only people on it that day. There was a girl down there that I assumed was a YouTuber. She looked Brazilian, but pretty much we had the place to ourselves other than that. But today it's not mobbed, but you can see it's definitely picked up a bit. My little one's made a mate here. This is a really nice friendly dog. We all just went out for a swim. We went really far out. She came with us. Nice little thing. I'm not sure she's got an owner. She's got no collar, but neither does mine, so that doesn't really mean that she definitely doesn't. So yeah, there's probably 40 odd people in the water there. It's about 11:30 in the morning, by the way. So I've taken a seat over here, which is where I like to go, the Silver Beach Resort. But they're all good. So as I recall it, last time we were here, that sort of pier looking area where them people are, it's absolutely packed full of litter and trash. So I'm going to go up now and see if it's all been taken away. Hopefully it has. Yeah, I mean there's one bottle there, a takeaway box, but pretty much 99% cleared away, which is good, right? So it's the following day now, and I've come back again because I wanted to find this dog I already have, it's down here, and give it some food because, well, firstly because it was a really nice dog and it's just sweet, but also because when we were heading back from there yesterday, this other dog that I hadn't spotted came from out of nowhere, sort of attacked my dog really quickly. And then this one, which was obviously the beta dog, the other one was the alpha, it was getting in between the two of them and stopping it from attacking my dog and giving it kisses, and that is really sweet. So I've sort of fallen in love with this dog now, and I've come down here with a tin of food just to make sure it gets a feed for the day. Where's it gone now? Here it is down here. Hello. Hello. Hi. Got a present for you, love. So. Yeah. What's that? Does that smell good? Yeah. You like this? Come and taste it first. Make sure you like it. Hey, you're not hungry? Might not even be hungry, might be well fed. What's that? What smell? No. Oh. My dog, this whole tin is already gone. She's so hungry all the time. This one's really sweet. Do you want some more? Yeah. Just gonna have to use my fingers, aren't I? Gonna have to get in there. There you go, mate. Dirty fingers now I have, look at that. There you go, it's all for you.
A few minutes later.
Such a little sweetheart, we need to give her a name. Something I can call her. Lady. Lady. What do you guys think is a good name for her? Let us know in the comments. Hey, there you go now. That's your belly fed for today. Need to fill this belly out. Look how thin she is, the poor little thing. Look at that. A few kilos underweight. And so this is Silver Beach. Small but very beautiful. And now we go to beach 2. Alright, so we're now arriving at beach 2, and this is Coral Cove Beach, and I have been quite keen to come back here because I thought I gave it a bit of a tough review last time, so it was a chance to make up for that. So this is Coral Cove Beach, and it's located just a couple of kilometres up over the mountain after Silver Beach and Crystal Beach before you get to Chaweng Noi. So right on the side of the mountain basically. And this is a really small, nice beach. Now look, it's clearly a phenomenal beach. So what I meant when I said I was a little harsh on it last time was that I just wasn't completely glowing, and the reason for that was because I know quite a few people that claim this is their very, very favourite beach on the island, and I just think it's up against such stiff competition that this wouldn't be the one for me. The sand's a little bit coarser, there's no waves. When you went swimming, there's just that sort of, you know, that slimy underfoot feeling. Look, I'm nitpicking, it's a phenomenal beach, but I live on Paradise Island, and so getting into the top 3 or 4 beaches isn't as easy as it would be in other places. Nonetheless, lovely beach, beach 2, Coral Cove. So what we want to do while we're here is also do a little bit of a head count. So what would you say? Behind me probably only about 10 or 12 people maybe, and in this direction maybe 20, maybe less, probably 30-35 people in total on the beach. So it's definitely not packed, but this isn't a super commercial beach anyway. But I did come down, I think it was the video where I either did the 10 best or the 10 worst things about living in Thailand, and I recorded a lot of that sat over there with my bottle of vodka. I think it was the worst things about Thailand, and I think I was the only person on the beach that day, so big improvement nonetheless. Alright, so we're just arriving at beach 3, and this is an interesting one for me because this was, for the first probably 18 months that I lived in Samui, this was my favourite beach, and I said it was my favourite beach when I came here in the last video. This is Chaweng Noi, situated just on the outskirts of Chaweng really, just up the road from where we were, Coral Cove. It's been surpassed by the beach we're going to go to next, but we'll talk about that when we get there. The big change that's happened here is the business that I previously showed you no longer exists. So this was a business called The Beach. It was a nightclub, but it was also like a decent beach bar. And they had a Black Moon party here and that. Used to be really popular. And for the first sort of year of the pandemic, it actually did stay open and everything was normal. So we came here, I've made a video about here, and at the time this was all, there would have been music playing here. This is the nightclub part. So you see, used to be a really cool little venue this, and instead of a full moon party they had the Black Moon party here. So when the moon was a slither, they used to have a party here, and I came to it a couple of times. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't on par with what you see in Koh Samui at the full moon party, but yeah, wow, this is bizarre to see this like this because, right dog. So again, this was all bar and dance floor. All here would have been hammocks and stuff. There was a shower just there. So when I was making the 10 best things about living in Thailand video, this is where I did the bulk of the recording, because I knew that beaches was going to play a big part in it, and this was, as I say, my very, very favourite beach. And so this is the very, very, very gorgeous Chaweng Noi Beach. And the water here is normally crystal clear. A lot of buildings up here that they've been building since I got here 3 years ago that they've still not finished. Yeah, very, very bizarre to see it like that. But this is Chaweng Noi, guys, and it's beautiful. Some nice accommodation there in the background, you see. Chaweng Noi It's quite high, so it's quite a nice place to stay. There's not really much there, but it's just outside Chaweng and just outside Lamai, touching distance to both. And it tends to be a little bit more expensive to stay in this area than it would be if you actually stayed in the main towns. But very, very pretty around here. And like I say, you do get the added advantage of having this as your local beach, which is definitely a good thing. You alright, love? And so this is Chaweng Noi. I'm sort of stood right in the middle now on a rock. And I would say it doesn't look super busy. You can only see 10, 12 people. But if you look here, there's people sat, and underneath these white ones, there's also people sat. There's probably at least 40 people in that direction. And then as you turn around here, this business, which is connected directly to the beach, and looks like it has a really nice little swimming pool. I'm going to go and try and have a look. I'm going to put the name of this one up on screen for you. It's next door to the Blue Monkey and Long Tallay business. But that one on its own has probably 30 people sat outside, and then there's maybe another 20 or 30 further down. There could be 100 people on this beach in total. This looks like a really nice place to stay, this. So if you want to stay right on Chaweng Noi Beach with a nice swimming pool and a nice view and that looks like the place to look into. I'm guessing not cheap. Let's see when we get home. Alright, so I'm back home now, and I've used the 1st of September as a sample date. You can see there, 5-star, and I'm right, it's not cheap. 5,600 baht a night is plus 500 baht and 520 baht taxes and charges. So about 6,100 baht is their cheapest room. And that goes all the way up to about 11,000 baht a night. But if you are looking for a cheap place to stay in Chaweng Noi, it's also possible. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 places there that you could stay at for less than 1,000 baht a night. So check them out if you're on a budget, guys. So it's about 1:30 in the afternoon now, about 2 hours in. Not exactly been rushing it though. Taking it nice and handy. Next up is the big one, the busy one. We're going to Chaweng. Now the truth is, I haven't hung out on this beach for several months either, to be honest with you. I've been travelling quite a bit, and when I have been back, I've sort of been trying to change my routine compared to what I did the first couple of years I was here. But that said, during the pandemic, I should point out that this beach became my new favourite in Koh Samui. There were no people on it, and I suddenly realised why it's the most popular beach. Absolutely gorgeous, the water's amazing. It's a really long golden sand beach. The people are back now, so it's not as special anymore, but it's still pretty special. This is definitely a great beach. It must be at least 4 kilometres long, and it's just beautiful the whole way along. Down there the sea's a little bit different, but it's clean, just shallower. Anyway, my dog wants me to throw this ball. She's cracking up, so I better do that. And as you can see now, the water sports, the jet skis and that have returned, parasailing and that. And there are seats and stuff, and it's busy. As you'd expect, this is the busiest. This is the Patong, if we want to compare it to Phuket, this is the Patong of Koh Samui that we're looking at right now. And it's a much nicer beach than Patong, but not as busy. So this is what I would say was the main entrance to the Chaweng Beach in terms of public access points. And right beside it here is a business called Sea and Beach Club. And it's it's a cool little place, and the staff here are really attentive. It's a little bit more expensive than some places, but it's not scandalous. It's got sort of a 1950s American diner kind of theme going on. A lot of the time they've got live music, DJs and stuff. Now, last year in April on Songkran, so that would be April 2021, there was an alcohol ban here in Thailand. Nowhere was allowed to serve alcohol. Songkran was more or less cancelled, and we came here and everything was just running perfectly normally. We were able to play in the pool, obviously, and there was alcohol being served, so we had a good songkran while the rest of the country was sort of not doing so. Now, I also came here on New Year's Eve this year, so the end of 2021, start of 2022, and unfortunately that is a little bit of a sad story, and it's one I'm going to tell you right now. Lovely place, eh? Worth coming to chill out here. If you're in Chaweng, Chaweng Beach Club is somewhere I would definitely recommend. Look at that. Beautiful, eh? Second pool over here. Plenty of staff, always loads of staff. This is where the DJ normally is. So, New Year's Eve, they changed the seating. At the time, this was sort of lounge seating just here. And pretty much exactly here is where me and Anne were sat. So I got copyright issues over there. They're playing copyrighted music, so I can't tell you the story exactly where it happened. But that's where we were sat. It was New Year's Eve. Now, normally we'd be the type of people that would just get a drink, like a beer or whatever, and head off. But it was New Year's Eve. We wanted to be a little bit fancy and celebrate the occasion. So we bought a nice bottle of wine, a rosé, I believe it was. And then we literally just opened it when suddenly there was a bit of commotion on the beach. That was New Year's Eve. Anne was like, there's something going on. I said, it's going to be a fire show or something. Seen enough of them. We just bought this. I'm chilling. I can't be bothered moving. But next thing, 30 seconds, a minute goes past, and I noticed it's not a normal commotion. People are panicking. Some of the staff are running in and out and that, and people are heading down. I'm like, okay, I need to go and see. So we went down, and it was just here. So you can see Chaweng Beach behind me. It was literally just here. And to be honest with you, I had been sat there looking at the sea thinking, I love a rough sea, I love nice big waves, and I was looking at it thinking, how long do I have to make polite convo and drink this wine before I can say, I'm nipping into the sea for a 10-minute swim? So I'm still in that debating it phase when suddenly I realised something's happened, and basically what happened was this poor man went for a swim, and who knows whether he had a heart attack, whether he got cramp. I don't think the sea was that rough. There were other people out, but anyway, they were trying to save him by the time I came down onto the beach, and then the tide was coming in kind of sideways, but they kept looking at the same spot, and by now about 200 people were watching this, and I said to the people either side of me, they need to start looking to the left. He's going to have washed it, but anyway, look, maybe I should have run in. It is a regret I have, actually. I didn't do anything. I just sort of stood there and let everyone else do it. Anyway, eventually I was right, and his body sort of came up over this wave on the left-hand side. Don't want to be too graphic, but I watched the whole thing unfold. They took him out. They attempted CPR for a long time. Ambulance turned up. The ambulance was a disgrace. The staff ran down. I thought they were going to get the shockers straight onto him. Bang, bang, you know, clear. None of that happened. And then it's sandy, right? They couldn't really get what's it called, a gurney or whatever down to help him out. And so it took a long time. And then they wheeled him right through the business. We were there. He came past a few foot away from me. I looked away. But look, unfortunately, they weren't able to resuscitate him, and he passed away there on the beach in front of lots of people. And there were lots of people making videos of it and that. It was very morbid. And there was a girl from Liverpool shouting at people saying, "You realise this is real life? Like, he's really dying in front of you, and you're making a video." And there was one woman in particular, I remember, making a serious scene, like screaming and wailing and rolling around on the floor. And people were like, oh, it must be his wife, the poor woman. And it wasn't. It was just some idiot making it all about herself. Didn't even know him. So anyway, look, yeah, like I say, I could go on. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. I could give you more details, but why bother? The sad thing was, obviously it was New Year's Eve, and that's someone's family member, and you know, and then it wasn't reported. I couldn't find anything about it. Normally, if someone drowns or whatever, you find it on the Tiger or something, but I guess New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, people wanted to relax, people were hungover or they weren't writing the news, and it never got reported, and I never even saw it on Facebook or anything. And like I say, there must have been 200 people here watching it, and it was obviously, look, it was a really sad ending and then what can you do? You've just bought a bottle of wine. So we're sat there drinking this bottle of wine, kind of like celebrating New Year's. We've just watched someone pass away in front. It was morbid, it was sad, you know. So look, not a very uplifting story, that one. But if you've been on my channel, you'll know I'm better at telling bad stories than I am telling good stories. So there's another one for the collection. And whoever he was, rest in peace, because unfortunately you didn't get the reporting that you deserved. And so at least someone's mentioned you now. All right, stopped off for a little bit of food, ran a couple of errands. We're heading on to beach 5 now. I'm a little bit sunburnt, you know. The cab. So our 5th and final beach for the day is my local one. It's the Lamai Beach. Now recently I've been doing my intros and outros down the other end because it's nice and quiet, and I'm trying to avoid the tourists, especially with the dog. She picked up a nasty habit of doing her business on the beach recently, no matter how much I try to get her to stop. So we're going down the quiet end normally, but I thought today, seeing as we're trying to do head counts and see if there's people about, I better bring you to where the people actually are. Now I'm not going to go too in depth on this one because previously did a 2-part video, lasted about 40 minutes, 2 20-minute videos I believe it was, where I walked the entire thing, 4 kilometers from one side to the other with the dog. So I would definitely recommend, if you want to see Lamai Beach and what it has to offer, that you check that video out. However, as with all the other videos, that was during the pandemic, and as you can see, things are sort of back to normal here now. Quite a few people swimming there. Got 4 ladies in thongs here, if that's of any interest to you. So as you can see, I'm a little bit sunburnt. It's a bit overcast today. I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it was. So there you go, Irish skin. And there's a good couple of 100 people down here today, I reckon. People getting massages there in front of me, people swimming on the beach, people inside all of these businesses. There's people everywhere. And wow, this guy's got worse sunburn than me. Look at this, coming towards us now. That's a seriously sunburned chest. Or his chest maybe is the one bit that's not sunburnt, is it? You tell me. He might have been on to me there. So I'm going to stay fairly central here in Lamai, because as I say, we've already done it in depth. But I do want to just do a little bit of a walk with you and show you what we've got. And there'll be no attempted head count, but I will just show you how different things are now compared to even a couple of months ago. Things have really picked up. Local business owner here, Kevin from the Cod Whopper. If you want good English food, check out his place. His wife is the one that does the work, but it's very, very good. And that dog that they've got there called Dylan. So I was in Koh Samui pretty much non-stop from December 2020 until December 2021, when I went to Hua Hin for a month. And when I came back, I couldn't believe how much busier it had gotten. And I don't know whether it died off again or whether I just got used to it. But since July this year, so for the past 2 months basically, it's been so much busier around Lamai. Way more cars. Like, before you could almost come to a junction and just pull out. There wasn't going to be anyone coming. Now we actually have traffic and stuff again. And so a load of new businesses have opened, and a lot of the ones that had sort of given up have started putting stuff up along the beach and that again. Now this is a 4 kilometre beach, so you're not going to be getting a head count off me, but hopefully you can see there's tons of people down there. You've got the jet skis back and that, and all these businesses along here seem to have 20-30 people sort of sat outside them. And then you've also got people that aren't at businesses that are just enjoying the beach. So it's busy. It's hard to say whether it's how it compares to what it used to be like, because it seems like so long ago now that I almost can't remember. I don't really remember it being much busier than this ever, to be honest. And when I was in Phuket 3 months ago, it felt like it was mobbed. So just based on like footfall, I'd almost say things are kind of back to normal, but looking at the statistics and the number of flights coming in and that, we're not back to normal. but it feels like we are, which is a good thing, I guess, right?